Greetings and welcome to part 2 of the drum series. This particular part is going to be using Breathe Easy Book 1 by John Kenyon. In the first video we had an introduction talking about how to hold your sticks. Remember that nice grip between your thumb and your first finger? Remember having that tail, that triangle, keeping your arms relaxed, making sure your drum is about in line where your belt buckle would be, so your arms can be here. Remember, don't hold your arms like T-Rex. Don't be all like this either. Make sure not like this. Make sure that your hands are not up and your wrists in. Make sure that everything is just, think of in line, and then bring it in, okay, in that triangle. All right? For those little motions on your drum pad are going to be the best for that fantastic sound that we're going for. All right, so we already looked at lessons 1 and 2 in your book. We're going to look at lesson 3. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about band karate. So it's something I've been doing for a few years with my band kids. I got the idea from a teacher online, obviously, and then I just kind of made my own that works for what I do as a band teacher, my 4th and 5th graders. So for the white belt for band karate, you need to, first of all, do Breathe Easy's lessons 1, 2, and 3. We already finished 1 and 2. And then demonstrate that proper grip, being able to play a nice steady beat, and a volume control. So we're not going like this. Ah! Okay, we gotta be able to hear you too. Okay, it's just a nice steady. Okay, so those are things I'm going to be looking for. Let's finish up the white belt part here by looking at lesson 3 in your book. At the very top of the page in the box of new stuff, we have a 3/4 time. Remember we talked about the time signatures tell you how many beats are in every measure or box of music. All of your music has boxes, okay? The first one we learned was 4/4. The top number is 4, so 4 beats in a measure. The next one we learned was 2/4. 2 beats in a measure because the top number is 2. 3/4 means there's 3 beats in a measure. It's all about the top number. If it was 1,000,004, you'd count 1, 2, 3, this is going to be a long video, 5, 6, 7, so 3/4, 3 beats in a measure. They also talk about repeat signs. So look at that box, so it shows you the repeat sign, and you've got the double bars there, and then the 2 little dots on there. That means play it again. Okay, so if ever you see that on a piece of music, it means you're going to play that section again. All right. So let's go right to the rudiment practice on page 9 on lesson 3. We have that single stroke roll. Again, we've talked about keeping a nice control on there. They've got LR, LR, which is showing you left, right, left, right. We're going to take this one a little faster. Ready, go. Left, right, 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 left, right. Again, steadiness is key. Then you have the long roll. That's the left, left, right, right. Ready, go. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. One of the best things you can do is every day take like a minute on each rudiment. Okay, a rudiment is like a drum exercise that you can repeat over and over again. So the single stroke roll would be left, right, and gradually work on. Notice that the faster I get, the closer to the drum I get. And then for the long roll, notice that it's even. If it's like this, then you need to slow it down till it's nice and even. Okay, reading practice number 1, 4/4 time, means 4 beats in a measure, and then you have repeat signs. So we're going to play this one twice. Number 1, ready, go. 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Half rest. 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Half rest, repeat. 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Half rest. 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Half rest. Number 2 is 2/4 time, so 2 beats in a measure, and it's also repeated. So we're going to do this one twice. Ready, go. 1, 2, 1, rest. 1, 2, 1, rest. 1, rest. 1, rest. 1, 2, 1, repeat. 1, 2, 1, rest. 1, 2, 1, rest. 1, rest. 1, rest. 1, 2, 1, rest. Number 3, your time signature is 3-4, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Notice there's no repeat sign, so we only do this one once. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, rest. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, rest. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. 4, also 3-4 time. We say it means it's in 3, we'll say. So 3-4 time in 3 and repeated. Ready, go. Rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 1. Rest, rest, rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 1. Rest, repeat. Rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 1. Rest, rest, rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 1. Rest, rest. Number 5. Again, repeated in 3. 3-4 time. Ready, go. 1, rest. 3, 1, rest. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. 1, rest. 3, 1, rest. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. Number 6, once again, repeated and 3-4 in 3. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, rest. Good. Turn the page with me. If you have finished all of that, that means you are eligible for a white belt for band karate. Good job. All right, let's look at the yellow belt. And if you don't have a band karate sheet, on the video links, I've been putting a link for where you can find that on my webpage. So that's on there. So lesson 4 is starting yellow belt. Yellow belt is lessons 4, 5, and 6. I think we're just going to do all 4 lessons, finish the white belt and all of yellow belt in this series. So here's lesson 4. Notice in the box at the top you have 1/8 notes. So it's like 2 quarter notes, but they're barred together. So if this is your quarter note, 1/8 notes, you would fit 2 in that space. Can you hear it? So if the quarter note, if I'm just doing quarter notes in one hand, usually we would alternate, but in this case, I'm just doing one hand. The 1/8 notes would fill in and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Look at the top. We have rudiment practice, single stroke roll, and long roll. We've already done those. You should be practicing those every day. Plus, for the yellow belt, your long roll is the rudiment I want to hear towards your yellow belt. So that's your left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. By this point, it should get fairly quick and steady. Good. Reading practice number 1 on page 10, lesson 4. Let's try it. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Number 2, again, 4/4 time. 1 time 2 because there's no repeat signs and more 1/8 notes. Let's try number 2. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. Rest. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. Rest. Number 3, 4/4 time again, so 4 beats in the measure, and it has a repeat sign, so we're going to do this one twice. Here's going to be number 3. Ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Rest. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Rest. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Rest. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Repeat. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Rest. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Rest. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Rest. Number 4, notice the time signature. Always check the time signature first. 3, 4, so 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. And we've got a repeat sign, so we're playing this one twice. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, and 2, and 3, and 1. Rest, rest. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, and 2, and 3, and 1. Rest. Repeat. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, and 2, and 3, and 1. Rest, rest. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, and 2, and 3, and 1. Rest, rest. Good. Let's look at number 5. Notice 2 4 times, so 2 beats in a measure, and there is no repeat sign, and it's a 2-liner. Okay? When you get to the end of the first line, go to the second line. Here's number 5. Ready, go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. 1, and 2, and 1. Rest. 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1. Next line. 1, and 2, 1, 2. 1, and 2, and 1. Rest. 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1. Rest. Let's go on to lesson 5 now. In the very top, in that box, it says repeat sign for 1 measure in the beginnings studies of the 5-stroke roll. All right, so with that little kind of like percent sign, right, it's got the 2 dots and the little bar there, that means that you repeat the measure before it. Okay, so if you have this in the measure before, and then you have that symbol next to it in the next measure, then you play again. That's all it is. You'll hear it when we get to it. But look at the rudiment practice at the top, please. Notice you still have the single stroke roll. They are noting it as 8th notes now, again, to remind you to do it fast. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4. You also have the long roll. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, etc. Again, be practicing those every day. Your next rudiment is called the 5-stroke roll. It's exactly what it sounds like. 5 strokes, 5 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, notice the sticking. Left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right. So let's do this. It's repeated, so we'll do the whole rudiment twice here. Ready, go. Left, left, right, right, left. Rest. Right, right, left, left, right. Rest. Left, left, right, right, left. Rest. Right, right, left, left, right. Rest. Left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right. Left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right. Repeat. Left, left, right, right, left. I'm going to pick it up a little bit. Right, right, left, left, right. Left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right. Left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right. Left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right. It may be a bit of a stick twister at first, but by practicing this one, again, you may need to start really slow. You may need to go left, left, right, right, left. That's okay. Eventually, by the time we get to lesson 15 in the book, we're going to be going left, right, left, left. Okay? Don't worry. We'll get there when we get there. But by practicing these rudiments now and getting them under your hands and faster, you're going to find it a lot easier when we get to it later. Okay, let's look at reading practice number 1 here. Notice about 2/3 of the way through the song, you have that repeat sign for 1 measure. Okay, so before it, the measure is 1, and 2, and 3, 4. So you're going to go 1, and 2, and 3, 4 for that little measure. Okay, so here we go. At the beginning, number 1. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. Rest. 1, and 2, and 3, 4. 1, and 2, and 3. Rest. 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Repeat that. 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Now keep going. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. That's all it is. All right. Number 2. In 3, 3, 4 time, repeated, do it twice. Notice you have more of those measure repeats. So we start off rest, 2, 3, then rest, 2, 3. You do it again. Here we go. Number 2, ready, go, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2 and 3 and 1, rest, repeat, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3, rest, 2 and 3 and 1, rest, rest. Number 3, in 2, because it's a 2/4 time signature, more measure repeats, and again, a whole song repeat. So we are going to do this one twice again. Here's number 3. Ready, go. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1. Repeat. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1. Rest. Number 4, in 2 again, and repeated. Kind of the opposite of the one right before it, right? Notice the first one started 1 and 2. This one goes 1, 2, and. So the 8th notes come on the second beat. Here, number 4. Ready, go. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1. Repeat. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1. I usually skip our first duet, but what that is, number 5 on lesson 5, is one person would play the top staff of music, another person would play the bottom one, and it would sound pretty cool with 2 people playing different parts. Let's go to page 12 in your Breeze Easy book. This is page 12, lesson 6. In the top, not a lot of new stuff in this section, but you have a new metronome marking, or time signature, okay? So we've had 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, now you have C. What? A letter? C stands for 4/4. So if you see 4/4, you could put a C there instead. It stands for common time, and the most common time signature you're going to see in music is 4/4. So sometimes they put a C. Don't ask me why. I mean, it'd be just as easy to put 4/4 on every piece of music than to sometimes put 4/4 and sometimes put a C. But you're going to see both, so that's why we go over it. Okay, let's look at the rudiment practice. It's a nice exercise, for the 5-stroke roll. Okay, they're kind of giving you the sticking: left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right. So let's do that together. Ready, go. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right. I'm not going to repeat it, but you could. Let's look at the reading practice. It says, make your wrists do the work. Again, you notice that I'm not moving my whole arm like those bongo monkeys. You ever see those toys? No, just wrists. Okay? Efficiency is key. All right, so reading practice number 1, common time, so 4/4. Rhythms are also if you sing, quarter notes and 8th notes. Here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Rest. Number 2, very similar. Common time, 4/4, using 8th notes, quarter notes. Ready, go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. Rest. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Rest. Number 3, common time, starts with a rest. So a rest. Let's try it. Ready, go. Rest. 2, rest. 4, rest. 2 and 3, 4, rest. 2, rest. 4, rest. 2 and 3 and 4, rest. 2, rest. 4, rest. 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 2, rest. 4, rest. 2, 3. Notice the pattern of that one. You got the quarter notes there, and then we start adding a group of eighth notes each time, right? So in the first one, we start with quarter note. The second note, it's 2 eighth notes. The next one is 4 eighth notes. Then the next one is 6 eighth notes. So it's kind of a neat pattern that they've got going there. Number 4, 3/4, 3 beats in the measure. More measure repeats. Remember that measure repeat means you play the measure before it again. Here we go, number 4. 1, ready, go, rest. 2 and 3, rest. 2 and 3, rest. 2 and 3, and 1, 2, 3, rest. 2 and 3, rest. 2 and 3, rest. 2 and 3, and 1, 2, rest. Number 5 is our first solo. Notice that this one, played as a solo for me, is one of the Yellow Belt songs as well. It's 2-liner. It's repeated. Notice that you do both lines twice. It's got some measure repeats, 2/4, so 2 beats in the measure. A lot of stuff in here. It kind of flips the rhythm around on the second line. So just be careful that you're really reading what the music says and not just what's in your noggin. Here we go, number 5. Does anyone even say noggin anymore? Ready, go. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1. Next line. 1, 2, and 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1. Repeat. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1. Next line. 1, 2, and 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 1. All right. Notice that it has a little new thing on there. Let's see the little flag. They always flag the new stuff. And it's got quarter note equals 100. So this is the metronome marking they're talking about in that top box. What that basically means is the speed that they want you to go, the tempo they want you to go is 100 beats per minute. So think about this. If you have 60 beats per minute, that would be 1 every second. So you would have a note every second. Okay, if you had 120, if you think about your math, 160 times 2 is 120, you would have 2 beats per every second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right, so here they have 100. So you got to figure out what are you going to do with that? Well, as a band teacher, what I can do is I can get my handy dandy metronome. This thing is ancient, but I love it. It's like me, ancient. And I can find on here, I can go down to 100 beats per minute, and this is what it would sound like. So our first solo at that tempo would be 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. I mostly ignore the markings at this point, just because I think it's good to go at a little slower tempo for young players, but you can certainly, if you have a metronome or even find something online, there's a lot of free apps for your phone too, that you could do that just to be like, okay, how fast is it supposed to go? If it says 100, okay, put 100 in there and then go whatever that rhythm is. Okay? All right, so that is going to take us all the way through finishing up the white belt for band karate and the yellow belt for band karate. The next video is going to focus on the orange, the next video, we're going to skip over a little bit. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this video series and we're going to go through all the Breeze Easy stuff first. And then I'll go back and I'll do all the bell stuff just to keep it a little more in line. And then you can just skip around to different videos as you see necessary for your training. Okay? Alrighty, we'll see you later.